All right, welcome to this episode of the GymInformer podcast. I'm Chris Gilbert, your host for this episode, and today our guest is Joey Welday, owner of Colonial Iron Gym down in Williamsburg, Virginia. Super excited to talk to him about his really cool gym with some really cool equipment. But before we get started, let me show you some photos that I took while I was at the gym. All right, Joey, you're an active duty Marine still, right?
Right. Yep. Still serving actively. Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you for your service as a veteran. I appreciate that. Appreciate everyone out there who serves their country. Can you tell us a little bit about how you have kind of come about from being an active duty Marine to now still being on active duty and being a gym owner?
Yeah. So I've always been into training. Working out was just kind of my thing growing up. Joined the Marine Corps, and then I joined the Marine Corps in 2004, and everybody just loved to go to the gym. If we weren't deploying or in the field, it was like, hey, let's go hit the gym. And a bunch of young single guys, it's really all we had to do. So I found myself just always hitting the gym. And, so that obviously carried me through like the next 2 decades. And in 2019, 2020, when COVID started and they started shutting things down, I think I was naive, just like a lot of people. Well, next thing I knew, there was no gyms to train at. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. Where am I going to train? Sorry about that. So I did what a lot of gym goers do, and I built a garage gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really focused with what I wanted to do. I said, I like to kind of do like more bodybuilding, weightlifting, traditional type stuff. I wasn't a power lifter by any means.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, let's pick a body part that I know I need specific equipment for. So I'm like, how about legs? Got myself a leg extension, a leg curl. And this is like commercial machines, not.
Oh yeah, nice.
Stuff. Yeah. So I got a squat rack. Eventually I got a leg press, and I had a whole setup for legs.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, this is amazing. Like, gyms eventually started opening slowly, but there were so many regulations. It's like, I would go to the base gym. You got to wear a mask. We close every hour on the hour for 30 minutes to clean. It was just so much of an inconvenience. So I guess long story short is like, during COVID, when a lot of places were closing, I was collecting.
Yeah.
And what my simple hobby of like equipment collection for legs turned into like an obsession almost. And next thing you know, I had like storage units, and I had a couple friends recommend, well, why don't you open a gym? There's no cool gyms around here. I'm like, I don't know about that. I still have like 4 or 5 years left, So I just kept collecting. And then I got orders to Virginia Beach, and it was time to move. We moved to Williamsburg, Virginia, because my wife's from Fredericksburg, so it's a happy medium. So I actually commute up to Virginia Beach, but I'm also close enough to family. And of course, like most gym owners, most gym goers, when you move somewhere, you look for a gym, right? So there was just nothing here. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
The stars couldn't have aligned perfectly. I'm like, there's nothing here. I have all this equipment. Let's make it happen. We ended up finding the space that I'm in right now. It had been open for like six or 7 years. It was empty, which is crazy. It was an old Dollar General.
Oh, wow.
You saw it. It's kind of deceiving from the front. When you look in the windows, you don't think it's much. I actually drove past it for about a year, honestly, before I actually called the people and said, I want to check this place out. I went inside and I was just kind of blown away. I'm like, this could be perfect.
And I followed your story as you were building the gym, and like, it was definitely like an evolution.
Oh yeah, for sure. Any space that's empty for like 6 or 7 years is going to be a lot to be done. It's an older building in general, so the plumbing had to be redone. the drywall. There was dead birds on the floor. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. So it was like a full renovation, top to bottom, plumbing and all. And
Oh, wow.
it was nice because a lot of it was kind of on the landlord to do it. It was part of their dime. But at the same time, since I'm so close to the gym, I was able to stop in and kind of interject myself into a lot of decisions.
Mm-hmm.
For example, they knew they had to put ceiling tiles in, right? Well, I was able to kind of say, would you mind putting black ceiling tiles in? Oh, sure, why not? We got to order them anyways. So I was kind of able to interject myself in the right spots to kind of build the shell the way I wanted it.
Oh, nice.
And then when I was given the keys and we officially took over, I kind of just came in and put my own spin on things and tied it up.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's kind of a lot. It happened over the course of 4 or 5 years, but at the same time, from the time I signed and got our business license to the day we opened was exactly 1 year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, how much longer do you have left on active duty, or have you even thought about that yet? Or
yeah, so I actually submitted once the gym opened. I decided like there's no way I'm ever moving again. Obviously, like I love Williamsburg. Gym's my passion. So I submitted my retirement package. I got approved, and I actually retire October 1st of this year. But
wow, congratulations!
Thank you. When you count in like terminal leave and everything, the first week of August will be my last. I'll be hanging the uniform up then.
Oh, wow, that's coming up fast.
Yeah, that's really fast. It's hard because I'm juggling a lot. I got
the
gym, the family. Not to mention, my wife is actually a flight attendant, so she's.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet her while I was at the gym. She was actually there while I was there. I don't know if she told you.
Yeah, she did. It's very rare that you'll see us both at the same time, just because of work. But yeah, she's been a lifesaver during this whole thing too. So that's cool.
I can imagine. Yeah, it's always good to have a supportive spouse. And now, does she compete?
She used to, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw some photos on your Instagram or her Instagram where she was competing, and thought that was super cool that you guys both have that passion.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not a competitor by no means. I just kind of like to lift. I like to lift weights. That's it.
Yeah, throw some shit around is what I say.
Yeah, she's the competitor. It's been about 3 years or so since she's competed, and I think she might be getting the itch again. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that like connection, and you guys support each other that way.
Oh yeah.
Now, getting into the gym, you had some super cool, unique pieces. How did you come about deciding like this is a piece I want in my gym? Because I know just from talking to you previously or messaging, like I'm assuming and talking to some other people who have gyms similar to yours, I'm assuming you built the gym you wanted to work out in.
Yeah, so it's funny. What I tell people all the time is I built, we're about 83 to 8,400 square foot. When I did this, I built the gym for myself. And if people want to sign up, cool. If it fails, I have a giant gym for myself. So essentially, I turned my garage gym into this, and people love it. But to answer your question, honestly, just over the couple decades of training, I've been to a lot of smaller, unique gyms that have older equipment. And I really started to appreciate the way things were built in the 80s and 90s. And they have nice equipment now too. But I think the difference is it kind of brings back some nostalgia for me. I like those old pieces. I'm not really the kind of guy where you're going to walk in and see everything the same color. That's not my vibe. I don't mind if there's some rust on it. I think that's what you'll catch from our members here is, when you come in, it's time to train. We're a hardcore gym, but at the same time, we're not over the top. Everybody's family, and that equipment kind of matches that atmosphere. So,
no, that was obvious. Yeah, and it's I've been to probably 160 gyms in the last like a little bit less than 2 years, and you still had several pieces I had never seen before. So I mean, that's
kind
rare.
of blows my mind when people say that, and I hear that a lot. I don't know. I think if I see something and I feel like it's going to be great, I just really kind of jumped on it and got that piece. And then if I used it myself and I loved it, it never went anywhere. I've had some pieces that have came and other people liked them, but I didn't really like them too well, and I would just move it along. And talking to the other gym equipment guys and the other owners, that's just a cycle of how it works. You just sell, and I will say one thing: everything that's in my gym here, I personally used in my garage, aside from like a few pieces, and obviously the cardio. And then the glute section, that's my wife. She built that. But all the other stuff, I mean, it was in my garage. I used it. I thought it was the best, so I put it in
Oh, that's
here.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there going in, like I try not to like predetermine what I'm going to work out, but I went in there thinking I'm going to train back. I ended up training back and shoulders just because there was so many different pieces that I wanted to play around with. So
Yeah.
like kudos to you on that. Like that was cool. Now the atmosphere, like you definitely had that old school vibe also in the atmosphere. Like, is that something when you were building the gym and creating it that you wanted to have that, or was that something you
Yeah.
planned, or it just kind of come about because of the building?
100%. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have an old school atmosphere that was clean. I've been to other gyms. When I lived in Florida, I went to a really old school gym, great gym. I loved the vibe. It just, you walked in and sometimes it was just, not upkept as well. And I always told myself, man, if I could do this, I would have this place spotless, but you'd have the same vibe. And I think that's what you have when you come in Colonial Iron. You feel that old school nostalgia, but we always get praised how clean the gym is.
Oh, super clean.
Yeah, and so basically what I try to do was build that, but at the same time incorporate some things you don't see in other gyms, like some of the art on our walls. There's art on every wall in a gym, but we went with like a different vibe. We had actually a guy named Silas, awesome guy. His background was in tattoos. So, I said, how can I capitalize on this guy's strengths? So I said, we know we want art. What's a good tattoo vibe that I like? So I said, old school American tradition. So I picked the walls out that I wanted. I gave him the focal points. I said, I want you to give me a gorilla, an eagle, a wolf, and then a strong man. And I said, the rest is up to you. Like, I like your style. Let's see what you can do. And he just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he did amazing.
That makes so much sense now because like seeing the mural, I'm like, this looks like an American traditional tattoo kind of vibe.
Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, and it makes sense that a tattoo artist did it.
Yeah, it was super cool how he does it too. I mean, it's funny because when I look at the way he put his art on the wall, it is almost identical to a tattoo. He actually does it on an iPad, and then he projected it onto the wall.
Oh, cool.
And then put the line work in with spray paint, and then he just went and put the color in. People come up to it and they're like, "This is spray paint," and they're like blown away. So it's just cool. We turn those images into merchandise, and they're kind of synonymous with the gym now.
Yeah, it's cool and it's unique. It's not something I've seen. I've seen murals in other gyms, but I've never seen a mural in a gym like yours.
Yeah.
And it definitely fits the vibe of the gym. And I thought the concrete floors were unique. I thought that was a cool vibe. Like you don't see a lot of polished concrete floors. A lot of old school gyms are just straight rubber. And I thought that the polished concrete kind of added the cleanliness and the uniqueness to the gym and with that old school vibe too. So that was unique.
Exactly. Yeah, the floor was a huge decision for us. We knew the floor needed to be done. This actually used to be a grocery store, I think, a long time ago when it first opened, in like the 60s or 70s. So there was a lot of under the slab. There was a lot of plumbing work because they had coolers and all kinds of stuff. So the floor had to be redone no matter what. And when it came to some type of covering, whether it was a rubber floor or a concrete, I got some examples of like an epoxy floor, and we loved the character it gave it. And yeah, I think, like you said, I think it does make it look cleaner.
It's very clean. Yeah, and it just gives it that like it's old school, but it's polished.
Yeah, and since you actually came, we've the gym. I wish you can come back today. The gym is like completely different, but
oh wow,
yeah. We've added a lot of mats in places because one downside to the concrete was the machines were moving around a little bit. So we went through and we've added some mats, but we've only put them where we need them. We strategically placed them. So you still have that shine coming through the concrete, but then you have the mats too. So it just ties it all in together.
Yeah, awesome. Now that you're looking at retirement and you've got the gym like rolling, are there any plans for growing the gym or a second gym, or are you happy
No.
with where you are? Or?
Yeah, it's so funny. People always ask me that, and they're like, because we've been successful. They say, "Oh, successful is or success is addicting." You say you're not going to open a gym, you're not going to open another one, you're not going to open up. Tell you right now, I will not open another gym. I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, traveling all over the place. My stress has been here. I want to just chill out. I live 3 miles from the gym. I want to come up here, smoke some cigars out back, and just chill out. So,
No, I can totally respect that, and I get it. I don't know if you saw, I had Steve Weinberger on the podcast, and he only had Bev's for 20 years. He's like, I'll never have another gym. Bev's is the one gym. I mean, it's one of the best gyms in the country. He's like, that's my spot. I'm not opening another one ever.
yeah, I would say I give guys who open multiple gyms a lot of credit. It is a lot of work, and I think what really makes me different is that I don't want to lose this vibe. We've only been going for 3.5 months, but this is what I've always envisioned, and I feel like the more gyms you open, the farther away you get from your initial goal. I can't see myself recreating this with the equipment and the atmosphere multiple times. I think I would have to get some newer equipment. And
oh yeah, totally. Especially with what type of gym that you have.
Yeah, that's not me. So for me, it's not about the money, and that's what I tell the members too. I mean, if you look at our pricing, we are priced significantly lower than comparable gyms to us. And honestly, that's because I'm not looking to make money off the gym.
Mm-hmm.
The gym is for the members. Like I said, it's for me. And if the members want to come, that's great, and that's just where we're going to keep it.
Yeah, and also I guess when you have, I've talked to some other gym owners, and they're like, when I have a lower membership, or I don't have super exorbitant pricing or super exorbitant expenses, like if somebody isn't behaving the way I wanted to behave, like they're not there very long. So
100%. Members love that too. I would say that's where I'm a little different from some gym owners as well, is that being in the military for so long kind of affords me the opportunity to be a little more less lenient. This is, I guess the way to put it is, the gym is not paying my mortgage. So if I have a member in here that's going against what the majority of the people want to do, I have no problem just saying, sorry, but you're just not for Colonial Iron. So
yeah, that's awesome. And you can tell that from the members who were there. Anytime I go to a gym, I always try to talk to multiple members, because I'm there once usually, and they're there every day, and they're going to give me the real feel. And I actually talked to quite a few people who had driven from like Hampton Roads, like from the Hampton area up to your gym, just because they came into the gym, they loved it, and they kept coming back and Hampton's not around the corner.
No, yeah.
So many people that go to the gym, it's all about convenience, but it just proof that if you build a good gym, like people will travel to get to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm still kind of blown away at the drive that a lot of people do to come here, because they pass a lot of gyms, a lot of good gyms. But they like the little things that we've done here. Like, I don't know if you've seen the light we put up, or the content light.
Mm-hmm.
That was an idea we came up with. Basically, it's 2024. People want to record their workouts. I get it. It's personally not my thing. But I don't want to be completely against something and shut it off. So I'm like, well, how can I entertain those people while still respecting the other people? So, we put the light up. If it's red, sorry, it's just not the time to record yourself. It's no tripods, and then we have blue and green. If it's green, you go ahead and set a tripod up. Not a big deal. Everybody in the gym sees that it's green, so they just know what's coming. And then if it's blue, same thing, but people can pose, basically. If you're working out and they want to take a picture with the gym in the background, take your shirt off, take a picture, but then put your shirt back on and work out. We don't need your sweat all over like I said, we want to keep it clean.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We just want to appeal to everybody, but also respect everybody.
Oh no, that's great. Yeah. I'm not really a video myself kind of guy either, but I've had to start doing it every time I go to a gym, because I've even had people at the gym that I work out in go, dude, do you really go to all those gyms? I'm like, you see me working out at the gym. Like, So I've had to become one of those people just
Yeah.
so you know that I've actually been in the gym working out. So
Hey, what though, man? Even the people that record themselves religiously respect the light and they love it.
oh, that's
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
a lot of people have came here specifically because of that. They'll leave other gyms and they'll say, "Oh man, that place is all about influencers. That's all they care about." But that person that's talking to me is an influencer. And I'm
Hmm.
like, it's pretty amazing that you'll come here and because, influence or not, you're still here to train.
Yeah.
So, and they respect it. They like the structure. So that's great.
I was actually talking to somebody when I was there the day who had left the gym a little bit further south to come to your gym for that exact same reason.
Yeah. So I hear that every day. Honestly, it's great.
So yeah, you've built a really cool gym. Um, Now you haven't had it for that long, but you've been through a lot in building it. Is there any advice that you would give to someone else who's thinking about starting a gym?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. The first thing that pops in my head is save money. Um, I don't come from a family with money. My wife doesn't come from money. So everything we have is we've earned and we have fought for it, worked for it. So, you know, I'd say you either save money or you build yourself good credit because, I, I don't have money. My wife doesn't have money, like I said, but we've spent 20 years building amazing credit scores. So it gave
Right.
us the opportunity when we needed to take some risks and get some loans to make XYZ happen. For example, our cardio. I refuse to buy used cardio. Um, I told myself if there's anything in this gym that's going to be brand new, it's going to be cardio. And it's not cheap.
No,
So,
definitely not. But that makes sense. I mean,
yeah. So that's one thing. Also, do it for the right reasons. I don't think that this is a game you get into to make money. I've only been in it for 3.5 months, but if you do it right and you do it for the gym and for the members, your money should be going back into it, at least for the first couple of years.
mhm.
Obviously, the goal at the end of the day, everybody wants to make a little bit of money, but if that's your first thought going into it, your mind's in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot from quite a few different people. So that's really good advice. And I've noticed like uh, something else you mentioned, like when I was at the gym, people knew who you were.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, and that's. I try to be humble, and I don't like talking highly of myself, and I try to be low key. I don't want to be the guy all over social media. But here's the thing: like, if you come to a gym that I'm putting my name on, and you have an issue, I'm going to be there to fix it. I'm going to be the one you see at the front desk. Um, Here's an example. The other day, one of my employees said he texted me and said something about the abductor machine had an issue. Oh, one of the guide rods popped up. I threw my hoodie on. It was like 9 o'clock at night. Put my shoes on, and I was up here fixing it. And my members see that, and they love it. But that's
Yeah.
nothing to do special just for the gym. I think it's just the way I was raised, and it's just work ethic, and that carries over. So
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And like if I go to a gym and I'm talking to the members, I'm like, hey, like, what do you think about George? They're like, who's George? I'm like,
oh
oh,
yeah, it's
he's,
crazy.
oh, I don't know who that guy is. Like if the members don't know who the owner is, like it's generally not that great of a gym. Like the
We
members who care about the gym and the members can see that you care, they care.
It's funny you say that because we just hit a spot actually a few weeks ago when I would see some people in the gym and I didn't know who they were, and it made me feel um, different. Like I felt happy that we've been getting so many members, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I feel detached almost. Like I need to get more. So it's just kind of surreal, the whole thing.
Oh yeah, totally. I can totally understand that. Yeah, but I mean, you're doing a great job, and we wish you lots of luck and hope that you keep growing and keep being successful. And we appreciate you coming on. And
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
oh, thank you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great content.